This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Smith's lawyer hints at legal action. As lawmen yesterday defended the choice of route taken to transport Kevin Smith, leader of Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries, to Kingston to face charges of murder and illegal possession of firearm, Smith's lead defense attorney has hinted that legal action may be taken against the state. "I am not putting anything out there to the police until I have done what I am supposed to do. I am not alerting them to what is supposed to be done, but I can tell you he has family members. He is not abandoned," attorney Valerie Robertson told the news, noting that her deceased client's relatives can act on his behalf. Smith, along with Police Constable Arlanda Irons, died in a crash on the Linstead bypass in St. Catherine. 2 other cops have been hospitalized with serious injuries. According to Assistant Commissioner of Police Clifford Chambers, who is in charge of Area 1, Smith was being transferred from Montego Bay to the capital city for further questioning by detectives. The decision was made, he explained, after a question and answer session over the weekend. More evidence turned up which requires further questions, which is part and parcel why he was being transported, said Chambers. He also sought to address questions as to why the 3-car convoy transporting Smith and another accused did not take the highway. There were several factors that could have influenced the decision, said Chambers, who cited as an example the need to interface with other police stations should assistance be needed. It could be a threat, it could be intelligence, it could be any kind of intelligence that the police have why they would use a particular route over another, he said. Whatever decision led to the route selected, Nita Robertson yesterday lashed out at the police for failing to notify Smith's legal team that he was being moved. She learned of his death, she said, while inquiring about his whereabouts. "They are taking him into Kingston and they don't inform us. They don't say, Mrs. Nita Robertson, we are bringing him into Kingston. We are going to charge him, so if you wish, you can meet us wherever," she argued. "If you are going to question my client, I have to be there. If you are going to search his house, I have to be there. It is a different thing if he did not have an attorney, but he has an attorney. He has 2, not 1, and they have our phone numbers." However, Chambers rebuffed her claims, saying the police were not obliged to inform an attorney if his or her client was being moved to another venue. "What is important," the lawman said, "is for an attorney to be given appropriate notice about his or her client's location to facilitate investigations or court appearances. As it relates to the time, the date when you move these persons, that is strictly the purview of the police with the national security interest at heart," said Chambers. He added that advice will be sought from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions on the way forward for the case now that Smith, painted as a major player in the incident that left 2 people dead and 3 injured, has died. Smith's co-accused, who was also being transported to Kingston in a separate car, was unhurt during the crash. Man shot dead in Olympic Gardens gang war. A 31-year-old man was killed in a reported shootout involving thugs in Olympic Gardens, St. Andrew on Tuesday morning. Residents reported hearing explosions and called the police. Upon the law enforcers' arrival, the body of Odell Moulton of a White Lane, Kingston 11 address was found with bullet wounds in a dilapidated board structure in the area. A car parked nearby was also damaged by the gunman's bullets. The war-torn area has been plagued by internecine gang violence recently. A police constable who was charged with the 2012 abduction and rape of a woman in St. Thomas was found guilty of the offenses when he appeared in the St. Thomas Circuit Court on Monday. Constable Craig Williams was also found guilty of illegal possession of a firearm. He will be sentenced on November 15. The constable had pleaded not guilty to all counts. However, evidence was heard from the woman, 3 witnesses, and 2 police officers on October 20 when the Crown closed the case. The judge on Monday gave his summation and a guilty verdict was returned on all counts of the indictment. Mostly unvaccinated people dying from COVID-19 in Jamaica. The Ministry of Health is reporting that 98% of those who died from COVID-19 in Jamaica from March 1 to October 24 were unvaccinated. Some 1,161 people died from the virus during the period. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Besesa McKenzie says partially vaccinated people also died from the virus.
We've had 1% of persons that have been partially vaccinated, actually less than 1%, were partially vaccinated. That means they received one of a 2-dose vaccine. And then we had 1%, again it's really less than 1% of persons also that had received 2 doses and had passed. So these deaths are being investigated. We are looking at the relationship, the time relationship, when the COVID was diagnosed, and the type of persons that are affected. And this suggests that in these parishes where you have larger numbers of persons, more denser communities, that the possibility of outbreaks of COVID-19 within these communities are high because there's a high level of unvaccination. 86.2% unvaccinated in Portland, 87.8% unvaccinated in St. Thomas. So certainly these are areas right across that we need to increase, but in particular, these areas need to be increased. Persons need to go out and get their vaccine. And we anticipate that the full recommendations from the SAGE will be out shortly and that we will see what that time interval is. Now, some countries are using a 6-month time interval, and so it is very possible that the 6 months is what will be used. Now, the first set of persons who were vaccinated here would have received their 2nd dose of vaccine in May. So they would be approaching a 6-month period in November.
Cops intensify search for a woman who helped a man to abduct a 12-year-old girl. A St. Anne man accused of abducting, drugging, and sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl has been slapped with multiple offenses relative to the incident. Dale Douglas, a 31-year-old resident of Ocherius in the parish, has been charged with 2 counts of rape, 2 counts of grievous sexual assault, and 1 count of possession of child pornography, and 1 count of administering drugs to a minor. A female who allegedly assisted Douglas in the commission of the crimes is also being sought by the police for questioning. Police sources disclosed that the incident occurred on October 9. Reports are that a woman contacted the minor on her cell phone and befriended her. During their conversations, the woman convinced the child to visit a location in St. Anne. The child agreed and went to the location where she was abducted. Over the course of 2 days, the child was allegedly drugged and sexually assaulted by Douglas. At the end of the ordeal, the girl was released and the matter was reported to the police. A probe was subsequently launched, resulting in the eventual arrest of Douglas. The child's cell phone was also found in his possession, along with other crucial evidentiary material. Douglas was pointed out during an identification parade last week and later charged with the offenses. His court date was not ascertained. Scotia warns customers to be on the alert for fictitious texts. Scotiabank is advising customers that a text message about their online login being disabled due to security improvement is not from the institution. Scotiabank will never send links via text messages, the bank said in a statement. The bank is asking the public to report any fraudulent messages via email to phishing@scotiabank.com. That's phishing@scotiabank.com. 10 people charged in relation to breaching DRMA freed. 10 people who were arrested by the St. Elizabeth Police on September 6 for breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act were freed when they appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on Monday. The charges were withdrawn after they provided the court with a valid reason for being on the road during a no-movement day. They had been charged after they were stopped on the Fonthill Main Road. They were escorted to the Black River Police Station where they were processed and offered station bail. The court was told that the individuals were going home after responding to a break-in at their business place. They provided the court with a police report on the break-in. 49 new COVID-19 cases locally, 1 additional death. An additional 49 COVID-19 cases were recorded over 24 hours up to Monday afternoon. According to the Health and Wellness Ministry, 1 death was recorded on Monday, bringing the overall coronavirus death toll in Jamaica to 2,184. The deceased is a 78-year-old man from Manchester. The separate deaths of 2 COVID-19 patients are under investigation by health officials. Meanwhile, there were 183 recoveries on the day, bringing the overall tally to 56,944. The newly confirmed COVID-19 cases brought the total number on record for the island to 88,480. Notably, Jamaica recorded a positivity rate of 8.3% based on the samples tested on Monday. Of the newly confirmed cases, 34 are females and 15 are males, with ages ranging from 10 months to 89 years. The cases were recorded as follows: Kingston and St. Andrew 12, St. Catherine 10, Clarendon 9, St. James 5, Trelawney 5, St. Thomas 3, Westmoreland 2, Manchester 2, and Hanover 1. There are 78 moderately ill patients, 32 severely ill patients, and 22 critically ill patients among the 28,751 active cases now under observation in Jamaica. A total of 340 COVID-19 patients are now hospitalized locally. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.